Recording in progress.
We have a quorum. Digital recording is on. And good evening and welcome to Tuesday, June 17th at 7:01 p.m. Historic District Commission. Everybody who's present will be seated for tonight as full members. I will now turn it over to the clerk to ask to read the public notice.
The Historic District Commission will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, June 17th, 2025 at 7 p.m. at the Groton Town Hall Annex 134, Groton Long Point Road, and virtually via Zoom platform to hear the following applications requesting a certificate of appropriateness. First up is HDC 250042, 209 High Street, John Henderson, applicant, Dennis Moore, owner, roof pin 2619-183-11763. Second one is HD2C 250043, 37 Pearl Street, Julie Wicker, applicant, owner, fence pin 2619-184-20344. Third up is HDC 250044, 1 Water Street, Spring. I should be able to remember how to say this. Peter Springsteel, applicant, Edward Cassidy, owner, landscape and awning, pin 26191-830-8788. Last one is HDC 25045, 2 Eldridge Street, Peter Springsteel, applicant, John and Carolyn Crowley, garage and living space additions, pin 2619-18425-391. The Zoom meeting app link will be posted on the town's website, meeting calendar. Applications are on file and available for public expression during normal business hours at the Planning Department, 134 Groton Long Point Road, Groton, Connecticut, dated this 10th day of June 2025 at Groton, Connecticut. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm going to request to waive the hearing procedures. If anyone would like to read them, they're on that table off to my right. All right, so we will get right to it. And the first person up is HDC 25-0042, 209 High Street, John Henderson, applicant, Dennis Morse owner. Is John Henderson or Dennis Morse here tonight?
No, it's just us.
All right.
You can jump over that.
I was just gonna.
Yeah, I mean, it is just a roof. It's a strip shingle.
Yeah.
I don't know how much explanation it needs. Looks like a tree fell on it.
Oh.
It needs a little repair. They've detailed the repairs. It's basically a plywood repair, minor structural repair, and reshingling with architectural shingles, replacing 3-tab shingles.
It's just the garage in the back?
Just the garage, yeah. 7 square.
I'm fine to skip over it for now and come back to it after the next 3 go and
Yeah.
in case they show up.
Sure.
And then we can revisit it at that point either way. All right, so I don't know if I need to make a motion, but I'll make a motion to skip over that. And we're going to. So HDC 25-0043, 37 Pearl Street, Julie Wicker, applicant, owner, fence.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep, right above you. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, it's gonna be tough. Yeah. There you go.
Zoom you in a little bit too. Now you gotta.
Yeah, do it upside down.
It's pretty good.
No, the
It's like staying
swiping.
on your head on the other side of the table.
The swiping.
Okay, so hi, my name's Julia. I live at 37 Pearl Street. I came, I think like over a year ago. And spoke to I remember some of these faces about a stone staircase that I had built in front of my house. We had an old like, dilapidated wooden staircase, and that is the new staircase that was approved. And I came in and asked about putting in a picket fence, and you had reservations about the materials that we were gonna use, which frankly, I was just gonna pick up some panels from Home Depot. So I put that project to the side and have been focusing on other things. And so this year, I want to get the entire fence done around the entire, almost the entire property. The property on the left of me already has a fence on that piece of the property, so we're just gonna leave that fence, it looks great. So we're gonna get the fence done in the back and then also on the right side of the property. And then put in two gates and fences, and then also my picket fence, which I've been reading about. And so I've been working with Chris from Knowing Fence. And I have a proposal.
Right.
Okay. So these are the materials. So I'm gonna split it up just so it's easy to see. In the back, it is gonna be 7 foot, and it's gonna be 6-inch. 6-cedar fence, they're gonna use 5x5 pressure treated. And they're gonna run it all the way along the back property, and then on the right side, which is between like, the front part of the right side of the property, which is between me and the neighbor, obviously, it's gonna be a 3-foot fence. And that'll be picket fence, so in the back, it'll be like, there'll be no spacing, and then on the side, it'll have spacing. And then on the left side, there's already a fence there, so what you're seeing there is actually for like a gate and a fence that is at the end of the driveway and is just creating privacy for us in the backyard. We have a dog, so it'll allow like, the dog to be enclosed. And then the front is my aforementioned picket fence that I've been dreaming about for years. So this is the existing property. And so the first picture is what is on the left side and the fence, and so it'll be a 4-inch, there will be no spacing, or 4 feet, sorry, I should say 4 feet, 4 inches. 4 feet, and then there'll be an arbor and a gate underneath the arbor to come in and out like there is now. And then right now, that panel actually picks up, and so it's been really useful to do work in the back. So we'll put in like just a regular, just a gate so that we can open up that back, that panel to get in the backyard. The middle picture is the back fence. As you can see, it has gaping holes of like picket falling off. There were 4 really large oak trees that we have removed. And the neighbor's tree fell down at some point. You can see there's like that gap on the right side. And so that brought down a panel. So like just looking to obviously fix that. And so that's gonna be a 7-foot planking, so no picket. And then on the right side is a half destroyed chain link fence that we'll replace. It's gonna be the same height. And then you can see there's that fence in the back or the gate, and they're just gonna replicate that. It'll look nice and neat. Any questions on the existing property?
The chain link fence between your house and the red house, you said that's gonna go away and you'll put picket fence. Okay.
You wouldn't by any chance have a map of how the fencing is gonna be and where it's gonna actually lie? Cause I'm actually a little confused on
Yes.
the fence itself. If you look here, are we talking about in back? This is the fence you're replacing here in the front, or are you going all the way to the front of the house? To the
So
front?
that, that was a loaner for like a week, so like that many.
Oh, got
that
it.
many owners. So like you see how there's a gate in front?
Yes, so it's this, it's not coming all the way down. Okay,
Because that's
got
the neighbors.
Yeah.
So that whole entire fence on the neighbor on the like left side is gonna
Stay,
stay as is,
okay.
cause it's in great condition, and I
Right.
did it, I think, like.
And, um,
I'm the same way. I'm
and then you
confused.
said that,
Yeah.
so I guess in the left picture that's where that mini is. You said there's gonna be an arbor
Yeah, just.
and
with
then,
the
okay.
gate, like the
with the- okay.
Yeah, I just didn't know what you meant by arbor. Is it like a arch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just where that opening is open right now, it'll just, just,
Your vision.
yeah, I have.
More
Oh,
pictures.
okay.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going, keep going.
So this is the existing.
Stay tuned.
And
Oh,
so
wait,
this is the
there.
vision, and so the first house is a house that's on Pearl Street,
Yeah.
and so that's what the front picket fence is gonna look like, and Chris from, like fence did that one. And then the middle picture is the house on Gravel Street that like, the back is to Pearl Street where there was, it is a house where there
gotcha.
was a lot of controversy about
Yes,
that fence being
that
put up.
was
I
the-
know.
Yes.
No.
That was the-
Yeah.
Yes, that's putting it mildly.
Yeah. It was great fodder for like talk for the neighborhood talk on Pearl Street. Just moved into town, so I learned a lot. And so that's what the fence in the back will look like.
Even with that top,
No, it won't have it'll just be like a straight.
just a straight,
Yeah.
because in your.
Not the
file,
lattice top.
Yeah, there's no lattice top.
No,
on
there's no
it.
lattice.
Okay.
I just-
one.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we just wanted to be straight. And then the right picture is actually to me's house.
I know that fence.
And so the first year, last year when I came, it was when they were doing their fence project and they wowed you with their presentation, so I actually took a little bit of liberty on the presentation and zhushed it up just a little bit. So it's, just a basic kind of fence upgrading. The only big difference that's like gonna like change as far as like looking at the house is that the back will definitely not be picket fence. It'll be like a straight wall
Yeah.
and, right, and then when you're looking at the house on the left-hand side, that gate that goes into like the backyard will be higher. It'll be 4 feet and it'll not be picket, and then there'll be that arbor, and then in the front, there'll just be like a small 3-foot picket fence, just like classic. Just to give
Like
us.
at the curb, that okay. Okay.
So just, I mean, this is just clarification, not commentary. There's 3 different styles of fences.
It's picket fence and then.
But one is 3 feet, one's
Okay.
4, and then.
And, cause I'm just
7.
looking, the one on the right has triangular tops and the one on the left have
That's a
flat
great
tops.
point, yeah, so actually, they're all gonna be like on the one on the left.
Okay, so they're all gonna be flat. top.
Flat, yeah.
Okay, that's what, so I was just looking at those
Yep.
pictures and seeing, triangle.
3 different things.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said
No, yeah, no, they're just gonna be like the
flat
just-
top.
Just
Cool.
from my expense perspective.
Yeah, no.
That's
Simple.
clean.
Again, was clarification, not commentary.
And then my last slide is regarding support that I've gotten from the neighbors, because I realize that that's important. So you'll see on the left is
Sounds great.
Jeffy and Bailey's fire. Good luck with the HCC, and the middle one is Ken, who lives behind me on Cliff Street, so he's the one that will like look down at the 7 foot. He's been really supportive of us. I mean, we have like a gaping hole right now, so anything is better than that. And so he's been really supportive of us getting a fence to give us a little bit of privacy. And then on the right is a text from Numi, who is Christian, the owner on the right, and that's his girlfriend. And they're okay with the fence, and then also with the fact that I cleaned up the ivy. As you can see. And that's the end of my presentation.
So just look at your materials list.
Yeah, and that's the first.
Is the arbor cedar?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm doing everything.
Cedar.
Everything's cedar.
Yep.
I'm not seeing any of the,
Yeah, I
no
want-
V word, no vinyl
No.
just entered the conversation at
I
all.
want everything. That's like without.
Yeah.
Even I just, last year I wanted wood too, I just wanted the wood from Home Depot, which wasn't good enough, but that's okay, I appreciate that.
And the front of the house, there's nothing in where the driveways are, right? It's just in the grass area. Okay. Yeah.
To keep dogs from
Yeah,
coming
gotcha.
into the yard
Right.
and peeing, like, cause we have, right now we have like a catch basin and reservoir.
Yeah.
Just cause we have flooding,
Yep.
and so all the dogs come in. And
Yeah.
which,
Gotcha.
I have a dog, so I understand it, but putting a fence there will give.
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
little bit of
Yep.
protection, save someone like me.
Is it, it follows the side of the driveway too? You're.
Yeah, it's just like if you go. So the front of the driveways, we have two driveways, we have driveways on both sides of the house, and so it'll just be. From one side to, like, it'll be.
In the middle.
Yeah, it won't be in front of the door, like, you can see there's a walkway to the front steps,
Mhm.
and so it won't go in front of that, it'll just be from. The end of the driveway on the left-hand side to the end of the entrance.
But it won't go parallel.
No.
It's just a straight.
Yeah,
across.
just a straight.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Just your classic.
All good. You have any questions?
Nope,
I'm good.
very familiar with the house.
Yeah.
Met your dog. Know this guy bad.
Great job on the steps.
Yeah, the house looks great.
Yeah. Slow and steady wins the race, just
Yeah,
remember.
that's exactly. It. Right, thank you very much. I
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Alright. Does anybody in the audience want to speak for the application? Anybody in the audience want to speak against the act? All right, HTC. 25-0043 is closed. All right. We're now HDC 25-0044, 1 Water Street.
It's like the third time on this one.
30, yeah. Fine. I was gonna say 30th
Maybe
time.
Let's count. Okay, Peter Springsteel, architect, here tonight representing Blue Turtle LLC. Owners of the property on Water Street. And the proprietor there is Goose Balls. We've been here a few times on this, and for various reasons, we have to come back, some having to do with your view of this, and some having to do with the Public Works view and the DOT view, so. We've whittled it down now to basically looking to satisfy the town's requirements, zoning requirements for landscaping. And at the same time satisfying your requirements and the proprietor's needs. They want to have a couple of bistro tables out front. And we sort of set it up, and I think you've seen a bunch of these around where you've got the bistro tables against the building. And then you have like a planter in front to give you some separation. So that's the theme of what we're trying to do here with the landscaping. There's a requirement for a tree by zoning. So one of those planters will have a tree, and you can see in this 3D rendering here that
It's off.
Just move it over.
Yeah, move it toward me, Timothy.
I see the pretty.
Okay.
Okay.
sorry, it's a little dark. So, in the plan, there's the tree planter right there. It's a little bigger than the other planters, so we're kind of following the property line. That's, we're not allowed to go over it.
Yeah, before you were over it, right?
Right.
In one scenario.
One scenario. Early days.
Puts the
scenario.
bus.
Yeah, got it.
basically, the town also has an easement over this area, over the whole sidewalk, because there's infrastructure on they gotta get to. So there's the tree planter right there, and the planter's basically a PVC box with some shiplap paneling in the center. And then we've got a center section here that's a planter and a bench. And one of the requirements in the zoning was some sort of public amenity, and so that bench is hopefully satisfying that. And then that's got some vertical boards on that. Just kind of see it here in my elevation as well, which is.
Yeah, okay.
So, and that's where I'm calling out the materials as well. Let's see. 2-inch Ipe bench, so that the cap of the bench will be Ipe material, which will turn gray, silvery gray. 1x3 painted PVC surround. And that's this darker material here in the photo, which is off the screen again. 1x3 painted PVC shiplap panels, okay, in the 2 end planters. And then 1x6 painted PVC shiplap going vertical at the bench, just to create some change of texture. The other item that we're looking to do here is an awning on the building to cover the bistro table area. On the plan view, you can see it dashed in right here. That's within the property plan. The last time I was here, I presented to you an awning. You weren't really wild about the appearance of it. It's kind of clunky. It's just something that the renderer pulled off the internet and threw it on there. But we're gonna get rid of the heavy case canister here. And we'll do a more traditional awning that looks like this, where the rolling canister is underneath the awning.
It's retractable.
Yeah. And they'll have their sign on the balance of that. The balance on some photos doing this.
Is or is not.
What's that?
It is or is not.
It is.
Just go.
It's scalloped.
Scallops, okay.
Oh, wait. And we've got the striped, two color stripes on that. And some of the other ones in downtown Central Hall, we did in striped. It's a pinstripe, but this is a heavier stripe. And last time you gave us approval on this French, full view door, yeah, so that's.
Oh, yeah.
So that's really what we're down to at this point. And,
So this is a proposed right here? That rendering right?
this is proposed.
Oh, now
This is
the-
the old one, just.
Let's-
Ah.
Oh, okay, got it, really.
Sorry,
It's not, we were not warm and fuzzy about.
no, you want. Me, actually.
I'm allowed once, I'm allowed once a year.
I love the old one. I think that one
You
looks
was?
great too. Any concerns about the awning hitting the tree?
Let's see, the tree, it's close to the tree, yeah. Yeah. The tree's gonna have to be maintained.
Not under our purview, but
Right.
just, just
The
gonna,
logis-
Hmm.
And those are something you mentioned last week or last time. Those are easily movable for the people to get a pipe that's underneath the sidewalk.
Yeah, I mean, you and I might not be able to pick it up when it's full of plants and dirt, but a backhoe will easily move.
Okay.
Sonic, we don't have the rendering here.
yeah.
Yeah, this came in late.
Okay.
I
So-
downloaded it or I uploaded it to the site
No,
a few days ago, but it's here. I'll give you this drawing.
I was gonna say, can we take that?
Sure.
Just do you have the material of the awning?
Do I have the material? No, let's see. Proposed new canvas retractable awning with aluminum frame. 5 foot deep by 15 foot wide. So it's canvas.
Okay. Questions? You guys have any?
Nope.
Nope, I think it looks great.
Yeah, it looks great.
Actually, I think having a bigger sidewalk there is good. Many iterations.
It's like the Times Square of this thing.
That's right there.
All right.
I agree.
So
Um,
Peter, you've already added that most current rendering to the application files?
Yeah, I uploaded it
Okay,
a couple of days ago.
all right,
Should be there.
all right. So you really don't need to take a copy because
Oh,
there is one in
there-
the file already.
okay, all right.
It
I was
wasn't,
just
it
covering-
wasn't included in the agenda
Okay,
package when
all right.
the agenda package was distributed.
All right, well, yeah, I trust that it's there, so. If it's there, then you have it, okay?
If not,
I just wanted to
if
make,
not, I'll get it from him.
okay,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
more the point than
Yeah.
anything, so, because that's the latest and greatest.
communicate with him once in a while.
All right, you can stay seated, but does anybody in the audience want to speak for the application? Anybody in the audience want to speak against the application? Okay. HDC 25-0044 is closed. We'll now hear HDC 25-0045.
You know where you want to be on this one, Peter? Are we zoomed in, zoomed out?
I would get the whole. drawing.
Later.
With the whole thing?
Did they know they're coming back?
That's good.
I don't know.
Right there?
Yep.
They're free to
They're
leave.
not coming back.
There's not coming back. All right,
Okay, Peter Springsteel again, architect representing John and Carolyn Crowley. This property is 2 Eldridge Street. And this is a survey of the property as it exists today. You have Eldridge Street here that makes a sharp turn, goes to downtown. We have Park Place right here. So these are photos of the existing house. This is a proposed site plan. The existing garage is non-conforming, the front yard setback. We're proposing to take down the existing garage. There's a little bit of a guest room also built onto the back of the garage. That's all gonna come down and get rebuilt. We're in a flood zone, so that forces us into some things that may not be pertinent to you, but basically, the first level of this has to be able to flood. It's not supposed to be habitable space. So we are going to add living space up above the garage. That'll show up on some of the other drawings that we'll get to here. Essentially, your addition is this piece right here. And some of this over here. You can see the red lines, they indicate the footprint of the existing. Right there, a little hard to see probably for you. We're also enclosing an existing breezeway that exists there today. Got a roof on it right now, and it's got these arched openings that we're changing. It's just the existing footprint. These are existing elevations. This one being viewed from the river. The river being a public way, so you have jurisdiction over the rear of this as well. And this view here being from Park Place. No. No, that's also a view on the river. It's just another angle, so.
yeah,
This is head on, this is skewed because this is at an angle. And then this is head on, and then this is skewed. Just giving you 2 views of the same side of the house. This side here is the Park Place view. So here's the garage that's coming down. Here's the breezeway that we're talking about enclosing. This is the existing main house. We're not proposing to do anything with that. This is the side view of the garage, I believe. Yeah,
is that from Eldridge?
this is from the neighbor to the north.
Oh.
This is the opposite Eldridge.
Oh,
On the other side. You don't really see a lot of this, but.
Okay.
So the garage is kind of a salt box shape, and then this piece is part of that living space back on. So that's all coming down. Then this is a floor plan view of the proposed. So right now, this breezeway right here, you can see these dashed lines, that's the footprint of the roof of the breezeway right now. Existing garage comes over, does something like that. So this is an addition here, footprint addition, this is some addition area right here. Then this is a new second floor that sits above the garage.
What's that space? Nope, to the left. Or over on this one, that one. What's that?
Pool and waterfront storage.
Oh, so
There's
it's
a
just,
pool on the property, they're on water, they got stuff.
so that can flood.
Yeah, all this can flood, breezeway
Okay.
and the garage
Yeah.
and the house for that matter. So the only thing that doesn't flood is
Is
this
the-
new space.
Okay.
So now we're getting into the proposed elevations, and I highlighted here things that I changed from the last time, because there were some objections to some of the facade work. This one in particular, this is the one that faces the river. This is the breezeway here enclosed in, and these would now be windows instead of openings, and we got rid of the arch, squared off. There was prior to this, a bump out bay right here,
Hmm.
little brackets on it. I think it had 3 windows in it. And then there were 4 windows down here, and I think there was a double French door here. So we got rid of some of that fenestration, we got rid of the bump out, so essentially now you have a much simpler form, more in keeping with the form of the main house. Interestingly, the existing doors in the main house, there's no mutton bars in them, so I'm kind of picking up on that with the rest of it, so it's not too much of too many different elements. And but we are doing the 6/6 windows, double hung windows, simulated divided lights. Those would be more of an elevate on the next sheet. There's a material list.
So the double doors go to that pool storage.
Correct.
Area. And that other door takes you out of the garage. Or
Yeah,
that
goes
hallway
out of the
outside,
hall.
sorry, the
So
hallway
it's like a
outside.
shortcut to the back.
Just kind of,
And then this is the skewed view of that same space, so now you can see the side view of this gable that comes off the side of the garage. Prior to this, I had this ridge line all the way up to the top of this ridge here on the L. We lowered it down because we don't really need the space, so I dropped it down as much as I could. Sits on top of the window heads.
and this, there's 6/6 on that top picture on the right hand side.
Yeah, they're there.
Yes, yeah.
On the new addition, we'll also have shutters to match the original house, so the blue shutters are not.
So we weren't planning on doing shutters. Except on this is the Park Place sign,
Yep.
so just there
But not on the riverside.
on the front side only, but not on the rear side. And you know, in the past, when I've done these shutters on these double windows, you know, it's a little bit of
Yeah.
authenticity, I'll say.
Mhm.
Because clearly you can't cover the windows with just 2 panels there, so I don't know how you feel about that. And if my drawing's correct, there are no shutters on.
When was this house built?
The
The
main-
the original one, yeah.
I'm guessing around 1830.
Really?
So
Okay.
I-
It's been added on to a few times.
Oh, yeah. Um,
Wow. I didn't know it's been on.
And then this is facing north again. You don't see a lot of that, but from a few angles you go by, you might see it. But we're picking up the same details in these little returns that are on the main house. Same thing on the front here, the little returns. Same size corner boards. We're gonna do all the new trim in PVC material, all the clapboard, new clapboard of the fiber cement. The house is white, and it'll all be white cement. Shingles, we're gonna match the shingles on the house. I think they're an architectural grade asphalt shingle. But we want to match what's that.
New garage doors?
Yes, those will be new garage doors, be overhead doors. And we're gonna do them in the style that I showed here. And various manufacturers make that kind of look. Low pay overhead door company. And I try to get the fiberglass ones rather than the metal ones. They got a better look in terms of.
Is it glass in the garage doors or is it?
Yeah, those.
Paneling? Okay, the
Transect.
top transom. Yeah, okay.
Four line. And that picket fence is there today, we're gonna leave that in place as far as I know. And you got a nice one here.
That's the pool.
Yeah,
Is that a deck or a patio off the sliders to the left of the pool?
I think that's a bluestone bag.
Oh, Bruce.
We're gonna have little wooden landings and steps in. There'll be PVC risers and. Deck.
Do you have a materials list? That's.
So it's one of the drawings. The windows in the breezeway are like a 2 over 2, but like a picture window or?
Yeah, they're gonna be. Large format windows, let's call them.
Yeah.
Fixed.
Okay.
I believe one of them is a door.
Okay.
And there's where we squared off the tops. Oh, so the center one is a double door.
That listed in the materials
It's a double door.
or just the type of door?
Is that like a
This was
Marvin?
Marvin Elevate.
Elevate.
Which the Elevate is a
Yeah.
fiberglass clad.
Yep.
Ultimate is an aluminum clad. I might not be able to get the narrow profile in the Elevate, so we would go to the Ultimate.
Ultimate.
Okay. What's what I said?
It's not listed up there. It's not listed up there. That's why I asked.
Okay, I can run it.
Yeah, could you do that for us?
Let's see, we've got architectural asphalt shingle, match existing. Or exposure fiber cement clapboard siding. Marvin Elevate clad wood double hung windows. And exterior doors with simulated divided lights. Painted PVC casings, flush rates, return spatial and corner boards to match existing sizes and dimensions. Painted wood shutters. Yeah, in front, yeah. Low pay carriage house style fiberglass overhead door.
Oh,
So I'll add. Marvin Ultimate. French door.
French door. Yes, please. Not that it impacts anything, but going into the garage, is there a stairway?
That stairway goes up to the second floor.
Oh,
Headroom cuts in through the garage.
okay.
Oops, it's no other way to go.
No, it looked like it was going through the car and I didn't understand if it was going down or up, but gotcha. You have any questions?
No, I don't.
Yeah, really nice. It's gonna be a beautiful, beautiful project. Thank you.
Such a rambling,
So Rambo.
few additions.
Yeah, it meanders, the house meanders. Anything further?
No, I'm good.
All right, does anyone in the audience want to speak for the application? Anyone in the audience want to speak against that? All right, HDC 25, HDC 25-0045 is closed.
You want to take this since I wrote on?
Yes, please.
No, I got my stamp here.
You want a rubber band?
What's that? Yes, please. Thank you.
You already submitted that to them. Okay, so. All right, so what do we want to?
Is Candy Crowley from Henderson?
That was
That's
we just heard,
What we
right?
just heard was Crowley.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I just see another one on this.
No, that's it.
So this sheet.
Yeah. And me.
All right. All right, so
Oh,
then,
she just dialed in to find out what your consideration would be. I thought that was.
so. What do we,
Sue said that they were supposed to zoom in, but if you guys are comfortable addressing it as a simple roof application, it's up to you.
what's the commission's feeling? Looking at the stuff that's been submitted for the first one that was over. I always like hearing.
It's a pretty complete application package.
I think it's like for like, no repair based on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we'll. Do we need to say anything more for the public hearing aspect?
No, it's been read in.
Okay, yeah,
Uh,
you read, but
Yeah, he read it in. You know, you can just, you can go to the public and ask if anybody has any
yeah. Yeah,
on it, anything on it outside of that.
Okay.
None of the other commissioners have any questions and close the public hearing.
all right, so the first one that we skipped over is a roof replacement like for like. It's HDC 25-0042 209 High Street. Does anybody in the audience have any questions or reservations before? Okay. Does anyone want to speak for the application? Against the application? All right, HDC 25-0042 is closed. All right, so that closes the public hearing aspect of it. Now we'll go to the vote of, and we'll start with HDC 25-0042, which we just closed. The shingles.
Moriarty makes a motion to approve.
Ernst second.
All right, any discussion? We'll take a vote.
Ernst, I.
Ferguson, I.
Moriarty, aye.
Kohler, eye.
All right, HDC 25-0042 is approved. We'll move to HDC 25-0043, 37 Pearl Street. That's the fences that we heard. Any motions? All
Ernst move to approve.
Kohler seconds.
right, any discussion?
I think it's a great plan. I like it all. The 7-foot fence in the back. I know we had an issue with that a few weeks ago. So I just want to discuss. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm okay.
So I think we just put the stipulation that it cannot exceed
Exceeds,
7
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah.
It can be lower than 7 feet due to gradations of the property.
Yeah.
But it absolutely in no way can exceed
Yeah, I'm
7 feet.
comfortable with that.
I'm that.
All right, so we'll make that a stipulation of the motion.
Not to exceed.
Can be lower.
7 feet.
Okay. So one. You did the motion, so just say motion to approve.
Motion to approve with that stipulation, not to exceed 7.
Kohler seconds.
Any further discussion? We have the new motion.
Nope,
All
I'm
right,
good.
take a vote.
Ernst, I.
Ferguson, I.
Moriarty, aye.
Kohler, aye.
All right. HDC 25-0043 is approved and closed. Now we'll go to HDC 25-0044, which is One Water Street, which is the awning and the, no, sorry, the flower boxes / bench.
Moriarty makes a motion to approve.
Kohler seconds.
All right, any discussion? I think.
I like it.
Yeah,
great.
oh, no, I
Fantastic.
think after kudos to you for the.
Yeah.
The like
Back.
persistence
Yeah.
and not giving up. So
Yeah.
so yeah, no, I have no qualms about any aspect of it now. So, but all right, we'll go to a vote.
Ernst, I.
Ferguson, I.
Moriarty, aye.
Kohler, aye.
All right, HTC 25-0044 is approved and closed. Then we'll go to HDC 25-0045 to Eldridge Street, which we just extensively went through. Any motions?
Moriarty makes a motion to approve, I think, with the stipulation of getting a cut sheet of a window. So the Marvin Elevate or Ultimate, but we've been requesting spec sheets from applicants, so I'd say if that could be supplied.
Just get them over, so they'll add them to the file or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, and then maybe the garage door too.
The garage doors.
Is it
Play.
Co-play, oh, fiberglass overhead door, okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
just having care.
So windows and
Just the windows.
windows and
Window- and
the
that
door,
double
the
door,
on the
yeah.
breezeway.
So. Is there a second?
We'll just.
Ernst second.
Okay.
So for Sue's purposes, the motion is to approve with the cut sheet for the windows and the breezeway doors
Got it.
to be submitted after this evening's meeting. Okay, any further discussion?
I think it's great job. I think you did a great job going back without the pop out in the back on the riverside. I think everything, I think it's gonna be a beautiful home. I think you did a great job.
I agree.
Sorry, I was mean to you.
Yes, he was.
I think it wasn't here. I think I wasn't here for that.
You missed that one. All right,
wasn't
so
mean-
the discussion being closed, we'll go to a vote.
Ernst, I.
Ferguson, I.
Moriarty, aye.
Kohler, aye.
All right, HCC 25-0045 is closed. The public hearings are now closed, and now we'll have on our agenda, we have a pre-app for 292 High Street, Mr. Eric Wood, who is present.
That's what that.
Eric Wood, 292 High Street, moved in about a year and a half ago. Retired, working on inside stuff, now moving to outside stuff. And so thinking about a 12 by 16 shed in the southeast corner of the property. Color to be probably matched to the house, not necessarily that color. And on top of a 14 by 18 pad with 3/4 inch clean gravel and 4x4 pressure treated around.
You happen to have a plot?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, it's coming.
Okay, yeah, no, okay.
That's some details of the size and height and so forth. And this is the cut sheet and the material sheet. This is the picture. Want to zoom in on that? So this is from High Street. You're looking from High Street east. And so there's a back corner of the property that I'm looking to sort of, oh, I can't move my pen in the right direction. And back there. And this is sort of another angle from that. So it's really
Pretty far back and.
is, yeah, it's gonna be the farthest back corner that I
Yeah.
can do it. I guess it's 6 foot off of. It's a little bit farther off these arborvitae because they're a bit bigger. Part of it is also to kind of block this building here. This has been sort of a work in progress. Looks better now than it did before on the owner's property behind us. But the arborvitae should take care of that at some point. But looking to put it in that corner next to our neighbor's garage. So that, here's the plot map. A high street here. That property, that house that we were talking about is that house, is that house. Right. So.
Is that that little innocuous little lane that comes off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of a, it's
It's
a property with a
interesting.
bunch of
Houses.
houses on it.
Yeah.
I met the owner a couple of times. Seems like a nice guy. I don't know him, but the house was. You know, was it just a little guy, which looks like a mess. And actually, I think his neighbor sort of chimed in. I think he was involved in some sort of town administration at some point. And so suddenly they worked on it a little bit, made it a little bit nicer.
No, I was just getting a reference.
Yes, correct.
So the
Cliff goes down one way and that little goofy road,
Yeah.
the driveway
Yeah.
is right there.
yeah,
Are there any setback issues with this?
he said the 6 foot.
He's 6 foot.
It's
He's
like
like-
6 foot.
Yeah, you're 6 foot, 6 foot.
Okay.
Anything behind the rear plane of the house or the front plane of the house, it's gonna be 6 foot.
Okay.
So he's fine.
Just curious. Are you from Buffalo?
Oh, yeah.
I taught there for,
You taught there at
yeah,
BU?
yeah,
Oh, nice.
way back at SUNY.
So you're a good guy.
I guess so.
But from Buffalo, you're an okay guy. So that's simple. It's, I think it's gonna be simple. This is sort of what I'm learning to do in retirement. Good news is I have a brother-in-law who builds a lot of sheds, sells them, so he's gonna be my little mentor, but meant to be primarily for storage, maybe a little gardening or like something like that. But that's it.
Your house is beautiful. It's really stunning.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's stunning.
We've been working really,
Yeah,
really hard on it.
it's-
And,
great.
you know, the list is long, but, and I'm not a big fan of the color.
Oh, I love the color. I think, yeah, it looks
I don't
great.
mind the sort of the seaform green or something, but
Yeah.
then the trim is darker, and then the trim on the window is like a
Yeah.
brown.
Oh, yeah,
We've had some neighbors down the other
Interesting.
way, and the trim is cream,
yeah.
and it's much better. So I
Oh, yeah, I
think
can
that
see
the
that.
idea would be to match the paint roughly to that house and then paint it the cream so that it will eventually match the house.
What year is this house?
55?
Yeah.
18?
I clicked you off.
And-
What's that?
I clicked you off. I
Okay.
think they were done. But
Sure.
And what the orientation of the shed would be the main door facing the road.
Facing.
Okay.
And the picture here sort of shows like a little door on the side. I don't think I'm gonna put that in, so I may add like an extra window on the other side for some light.
So the siding is T111.
Yeah. Is that fine? I mean, I was thinking of like a more of a board batten look or something
That would
else.
be,
Better.
I think this is fine.
I mean, it's fine.
Yeah,
but
the board and
heard-
back.
Yeah.
Wow. I think it was,
I mean, it's the material more than anything.
Right, right.
I don't want vinyl.
Yes, correct.
right. No, I think it's fine.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. The one thing, I guess, next time when you come in for approval.
Yep.
If you could stipulate whether it's going to be a side door or a window would be ideal.
Okay,
Um,
yeah, I'll do
yeah.
that.
But can always,
You did a great presentation.
Yeah.
now,
Yeah,
Okay.
just like that.
just
Yep,
like that,
like that.
and just make sure, personally, like, make sure you have everything, you changing anything, all the materials, like the roofing materials, the side materials. Cause if you're not buying it kind of pre-made.
Right.
it's Just
Right.
have that.
Okay.
It's just on list.
So no, to be determined.
Right,
I mean,
right.
This is what it's gonna be.
Correct.
Right.
Good job, though.
Yeah. I like the color of your house.
I didn't.
I know, I know.
I just love it. I drive by it.
Yeah, I think it's
No,
really great.
It's kind of a
Right.
subtle, interesting.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite colors.
Yeah.
Soft green.
Yeah.
Right, with the right trim.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
but
no,
the-
I agree with the brown
I-
windows,
I-
but yeah.
I can see your. point.
Yeah, I think that's the part I
Just going
don't,
with the color.
that's the part I don't.
Can you paint that trim on the window like that? Is that paintable? I don't know, I'm guessing.
I don't know, is it a wood,
Depends
is it
on
a,
what it
yeah,
is.
what is it?
But-
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much
Right.
anything.
With the right
About
breath
anything,
and the right
yeah. If you have
material.
An etching product for it that'll make it stick. Yeah, you can paint plastics and all the PVCs, everything.
Yeah.
The aluminums, everything.
If you really don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, that take me a little while.
You need another project.
Next.
Right?
Do you have any
Thank you
further
so much.
questions for us?
I don't.
Overall, that was.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
Not first, or not you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a good night.
Right.
Oh,
I was just gonna list, I'm sorry.
We have one more?
Yeah, I got it.
That was,
Look at it.
that was Eric Wood. Oh, two people.
He was actually on the agenda.
Yeah. Oh, we have Peter Springsteel. Come on down.
Gravel Street?
Green Gravel Street.
Surprise. Yes, appearance.
This might be the third or fourth on this one too.
What's three?
Oh,
Is that the hotel or the?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
So. We had a staff meeting with, Groton Town staff, this morning, that was there. And we have, some heat pump compressors that we have to put on the outside of this building. And I think in an earlier iteration, I had them here, but they were basically on the ground. We're in a flood zone, so they can't be on the ground. These red lines indicate base flood elevation.
Wow. We get you here for your hang on. So, and zoom you out.
Okay.
There you go. That's a little better. Unless you want to move it up and I can zoom you in.
That's good right there.
Okay.
So, the red lines are base flood elevation and design flood elevation. You have to be 1 foot above the base flood elevation in the town of Groton with any utility equipment. So, this is the back of the building. There is a screen wall that comes off the side of the building right here. See the screen wall here?
Yeah, just scroll down. Look at the picture.
Oh, okay, yep.
This screen wall here, this is the driveway when you come in. Front door doesn't face the street, it faces south to the driveway. So there's a right-of-way pedestrian path that's gonna be on this driveway that goes from Central Hall across the street to some of their parking that's behind the next property. So Central Hall gave a right of way through this property so that their residents can walk to their second parking spaces over in the other lot. Their primary parking is in the pump station parking. So the interpretation of that is that this is a public way, people can walk up the back and they're gonna see those heat pump compressors. Zoning regulations also have a requirement that you have to screen the outdoor air conditioning. So when you hang one of these on a wall up off the ground, it's kind of like, you're adding something that's worse than the heat pump itself. The cure is worse than the poison, something like that. So our preference is to just hang them there. These two are pretty well hidden. They're set way back on this wall here. The screen wall comes out. There's stairway that comes down over the top of them. So they're back in the shadows. So they're not that prominent. I couldn't get the third one in there. There's just not enough room. So the third one is here. Yes, I could put it here. I can't put it here actually because it's a ramp that's right up against the building. So it would be hanging out into the ramp. I guess the only other place I could potentially put it is on this return wall right here.
It's kind of front facing now, right? Or
Right, floor plan.
that would be facing, yeah,
I think there's a walkway there.
there's a pathway there, right? Yeah.
So really all I'm left with is here. Here, I could put this on the other side where it's less visible to the pedestrian way, because the roof line will kind of block it out. And then I don't really want to screen it. And the staff was looking for your direction on this in terms of the screening or not screening.
So, but I thought you said it was town regulations that it needed to be screened, so our thoughts are.
Well, I got the feeling that maybe they bend the rule based on your,
Something we have to take into consideration too is the mechanical operation of the unit. We can't enclose it so much
Yeah,
that it doesn't
50%.
operate, that it doesn't function correctly. So that's something we're also taking into consideration on the zoning side.
on this one here, I could put a fence because this roof line comes out, right? So I could put a fence on top of that roof and returning back to that corner. And that comes out far enough so that it wouldn't affect the operation.
Hmm.
On that one, but.
You
in my-
can't do that on the bottom too.
Well. Those are several feet off the ground. And there is a fence, you can see the fence right here, so I could put a taller fence there. In the floor plan, or maybe I have it in my brief. There's a lot going on in that area. Trying to show it to you.
Left all those copies on the table today. That was a site plan, but oh my gosh, those two.
Yeah, those disappear they sell.
Yeah.
Here is a plan view. Maybe you want to zoom into
Yeah.
that.
Show me where the pedestrian way is.
Alright, so the pedestrian way is here. This is gravel street here.
Push the picture down, I can see that.
Yeah, push it to us.
What do you want me to do?
Push it there, so
Yeah, there you go.
pedestrian, but
So gravel street is here.
Yeah.
This is the driveway coming in here. And the parking comes right up close here. This is a handicap ramp here. Hugs the building. And then there's a sidewalk right here that brings you to that door as well, and to the stairway that goes upstairs. The air conditioning units are under the stairway and the stairway landing right here. This is a fence, but it's only 4 feet tall. And there's a fence here that goes around some trash can. So I suppose that fence could be taller. As a solution, and I suppose we could fence around this.
Or move it back, like you said, maybe move the upstairs unit towards the back so it's hidden
I could
by
go
the
back
roof
here.
line.
Yeah,
Yep.
this chimney's way forward, so it could go right there.
It'd be
I think
awkward to
that-
do a fence on top of the roof line like
Yeah,
that.
I
Yeah,
agree.
that's,
I think that gets into the poison is worse than.
Yeah. and I agree about screening. It
I think if you raise the fence.
fence down below
Down
and
below
move the
and move-
top unit.
Yep.
to the
Okay,
back.
to the other
On
side.
the other side.
Okay.
And am I hearing we're willing to waive the fence on the second floor?
Right, yeah, the last worker, the enclosure, yeah.
The only other thought I have is, can it be out on the site some, is if any site to put them? No site,
Property line, right up against
yeah,
the
there's
building.
no other place to put them.
I think when my client bought the building, there was a compressor up.
Oh.
It was encroaching.
Can't put it back there.
Can't do it. We're right on the sidewalk here. We've got driveway right here. This would be very visible here. You don't want it there. You'd be interfering with the wonderful front elevation of this thing. But
What are you gonna do, like a lattice? That was,
yeah, you have.
because you gotta have airflow out of those things, the air had, the fan has to be able to freely move air.
Yeah, I think it's 50% opening or something like that.
Yeah, so when I raise this fence here, it probably would have. Be like a two-part fence. The bottom would be solid, and the top would be a lattice.
Yeah.
With, a frame around it. So it looks decent. So it's a brief. All right, well, if that's good, I'll come back as public.
So is it only a public right of way for residents of Central Hall? Is that what you said? Oh, everyone, okay, all right.
I mean, it's a right of way to Central Hall, but the public walks in.
It was established.
I've never walked there in 20 years.
It's been everywhere. It doesn't live here that long.
You used to be able to drive
I looked at units.
years ago, you could drive.
Hmm.
And that way
Then they
the Central
double
Hall
the price.
residents don't have to go all the way out to Main Street and all like that.
Further, no, sir, no.
Nope.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you. The next,
Gonna let
we'll,
the third floor stair ride.
I'm not even ready.
Okay.
Oh, I don't think it's possible.
I mean, we sat and talked about it for a long time. Yeah, and even if you get able to get out of that floor, where are you gonna go?
Yeah.
You're gonna go down onto the other stairs and then the other landings and,
Yeah, there's no,
yeah. Great. I was thinking the same thing, but I wasn't.
we're not bringing.
okay. I know.
That's
nothing.
that.
I know nothing. All right, thank you, Peter.
Thanks, Peter.
Thanks.
All right, next we'll hear from Zach Pranger, 3 Pearl Street. Did I say your name right? Okay. So, yeah, thanks.
Hey, guys.
Big finale.
Yes, thanks for taking the time. So I called just today, so I wanted to see if I could get on the agenda for the future. I'm not totally sure how this whole process works.
Sure.
But I'm here on behalf of the owner of 3 Pearl Street. I'm the property manager of the building. And this is the brick building right across from the Harpin Town, right in downtown Mystic.
Where Iris is.
Yes.
Yep.
Right where Iris is. So just this a little bit.
Yeah, have it face us.
I
So
do
we
have
can read it.
handouts for everybody, if that is better. But if the camera is, so this is 3 Pearl Street here, and we're looking to propose a sign to be affixed right here between the 2 windows on the second floor. There's about 5 feet of space wide there. So we're looking to get a sign, an oyster with 3 pearls in its mouth, 3 Pearl Street. And it's gonna be like a pretty realistic looking oyster. We're working with Gagnon Signs. They're out of Danielson. So they're about 45 minutes north of here. So this is the mock-up that they've done up, and I'm not sure if we can read it, but there's a material list here as well. So the way they have it proposed is 2 ways, either doing a flat sign or like a 3D sculpture. And I wanted to talk to you guys and see what you thought would be more sensible. And what would make more sense for the for restrictions and for the property. I'm just not sure how this whole process works. Sure. So I called today, I spoke to someone on the phone, she told me to come by, put my name on that list. And that I would have to do a sign application and a certificate of appropriateness for such an endeavor. So,
Can I ask a question? Is this where the anchor was proposed?
See, this is,
The giant
Yeah.
anchor.
this is take 2.
Yeah,
Is that in here?
Take 2 of this.
Cam Vorts came in and was proposing an anchor with a some kind of something in that same location.
Well,
And we shot that down.
Right,
And that's my gut reaction.
the three
Why?
dimensional piece you shot down?
No,
no,
the
it was,
anchor.
it was
Just a
just
plain
a-
It's a plain flat anchor.
Wow. You guys are tough.
Yeah,
Well,
so
this, because signs, see, this is bigger than you, Zach.
Yeah.
Signs are for.
For
like,
businesses
For
typically.
businesses
Right,
to
right.
say, come shop at my place.
Mm-hmm.
This wasn't a sign,
It was a art piece.
it was,
Mhm.
yeah.
It's funny, I just came back from Cincinnati and they have beautiful art pieces everywhere.
Yeah, I know this used to be done.
But this is an
back
historical,
in the
this is an
day,
historical
But
place.
So,
It's interesting.
I'm in the same boat as I was with the anchor, even though this is a more kind of
Quick-
artistic.
Quick question.
Yeah.
That, the building, I'm actually on Google right now, it doesn't show it. Isn't there signage for 3 Pearl Street on the corner?
on the corner,
Corner.
yeah, in order to promote some
So
visibility from. West
You're
Main
actually
Street.
having 3 Pearl Street on the corner that's just been built up with the gold lettering, and on the side, you're gonna have a mural with 3 Pearl Street.
Yeah, so that's more like here on the side, like on the corner there.
Yeah, yeah.
It jumps out to make
Yeah.
it more visible from West Main Street.
Right,
Trying to promote, I think it says the shops at 3 Pearl Street.
it does, yeah.
To promote some visibility for the retail tenants that are in the front. But this would just strictly be a sign for the building.
Yeah, which is, yeah. So,
Right.
so that's,
Yep, yeah.
so in a way, it's actually saying the same thing twice.
Right.
like, Within 8 feet, but.
Yeah.
Or
Oh, yeah,
50 feet
got
each.
it.
Is, so. Not that this is gonna change my mind, but I have to ask the question, is there gonna be the words 3 Pearl Street underneath
No,
that
just,
oyster?
Just an oyster.
So it's
Just
not-
an oyster.
And I think people would get it. I think it would be fun, 3 Pearl Street. But
And like the 3D aspect, is it just like a carved or CNC sign? So there's like a little depth to it?
yeah, so they have it on here. Do you want me to give you a?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not a mural.
So,
There's
They-
two ideas, right?
yeah, 2 ideas. They would either do a flat sign or like the sculpture itself, and I thought the sculpture was a little more exciting, so I brought that one, but they're willing to work with us on either, of course. They did, if you've ever been to Putnam, Connecticut, they did that huge Coca-Cola
Mhm.
mural they have on the side of the building there. They do a lot of work around that corner of the state.
So 60 inches wide, 48 inches tall, so 5 feet.
And how far is
And
it
it's
stick out?
24-inch projection?
Yeah, they
What
have
is
it sticking out about 2 feet.
Which
that?
is,
That's, okay, now I see it.
yep, yeah.
Oh,
At
Yeah,
the side
no,
view.
that's what I'm like,
Yeah, that's the side.
which actually,
I mean, it's awesome.
but does it, that mess it.
No.
Yeah. Struggle with
I mean, seriously, I mean,
It's-
yeah,
yeah,
a
it's-
lot of,
it's-
you look at Denver,
Do
you,
I
a
like-
lot of places actually do this.
Yeah, do I like the concept?
Yeah, right.
Do I like it in Mystic? No. I'm just being Bill Ferguson's opinion.
Yeah, the coloring would definitely be like more along the lines of realism to kind of fit in, I think, so it doesn't.
So
Couldn't be
could you
like green
support
or
the
anything.
two-dimensional version?
The flat, no, I wouldn't support
Anything?
anything.
I would be much more likely to go with a painted mural, flat.
Mhm.
That fits into the, that 19 teens,
Yeah,
20s
fit-
feel, but
We,
even
I
then,
would, I would go more with that.
yeah,
But I just
Yeah.
don't see, and there's nothing. I don't know,
We approved a sign for the new seafood place. And then as a pop-up, there was some big signs on the side of the building
yep,
that showed up that
yes,
did we approve that?
Those were pre-existing.
the Harp and Hound
Day
one,
before?
Harp and Hound one, wasn't?
The ones that
he's talking about fish food.
Yeah,
Up front
there's a
with- up
huge.
front with the young buns.
one now.
But Young Buns had a
Two
huge
big,
sign.
two big.
The Harp and Hound has a big metal one there now.
Harp and Hound, for Harp and Hound?
Yes, and it's a big Saint Bernard.
Oh, I haven't seen
I
that.
know.
I know like the the seafood place.
Nope, yeah,
had
right
young-
next to it.
They had Young Buns and it had a menu sign, so those were all existing.
Hmm.
I'll have to look at that. Yeah, we'll check that out.
Yeah, it's a big Saint Bernard, says Harp and Hound with an arrow.
I've said my piece.
Well, it wasn't approved.
Yeah, the owner is very excited about the possibility of it. He loves Mystic, he loves the charm. He wanted to be here tonight. He's actually quite sick. He's getting treatment, but
I'd like to go look at it. So
yeah, they haven't made it yet, of course.
Sure.
I mean, this is all in the
I'd like to
planning.
go
They-
walk and take a look at it.
Yeah,
I just think, yeah,
So it's above the vape shop in the
yeah, I'll go look.
Iris, yeah.
I kind of get where it is. It's just,
My opinion is it's extraneous.
no fun place here. Pretty much.
We're fun. We don't need a mural.
I just, yeah, I'm kind of with Bill on this in a way. It creates a precedence and.
The
then-
precedent is a bigger issue.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's then what, every building's gonna have a big flower coming off of it or, you know, you're gonna lose that downtown.
Are we gonna have,
Yeah,
are we gonna
The
have
pres-
like a pile of gravel on?
it's gonna be
Yeah,
Camden and
someone
London
done it.
where you're gonna,
The precedence is the problem.
yeah. Yeah, I agree.
You're not getting a good vibe here.
no,
Yeah.
I'm just.
But he's not gonna hear.
I'm
next
not
time.
gonna be here. next time. That's the problem. It's like.
It's easier for me to swallow as a mural, but even then, we don't really have
Yeah.
murals
Yeah.
in town anymore.
No, and,
I mean,
like I said, are we gonna have a pile of gravel on a building like one street over?
Well,
This is,
we might not like that.
but what's the difference?
There's a big difference.
Something that has to be taken into consideration too, and I don't know if it's been looked at yet, is buildings are only allowed so many square footage of signage.
Mhm.
And I don't know where this building is currently with what they currently have. Like you mentioned, you already have a certain number of square feet where it says shops at 3 Pearl.
Plus the
There's
two.
individual
Yeah.
sign for the businesses. So that would have to be looked at before it could receive a zoning approval as well.
Yeah, well,
I know the building, it's Stonington, but across the bridge, the Anchor Building, they have a big, their sign on there. By the train
Yeah,
station, but that's Stonington, I know it's a different.
that was our exact comment when they
Oh, okay.
proposed the anchor for that space.
Yeah.
There, and like Stonington.
Oh,
did
that
what
was it.
Stonington wants.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
That was. Against the anchor. Bunch of weeks ago.
Jeff, you are over there swiping and earning.
Yeah, no,
and trying to look
I'm
for-
looking at all the signs
I know,
and
yeah.
all downtown. I'm just,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm getting to the same place what these guys are. I mean, I love the idea. It's
I do
just.
too.
I do,
It's-
don't get me wrong on the
yeah.
idea, it's just not
Right.
realistic and.
I mean, if it was on the
relevant
side
to-
of the CVS building over in Groton Shopping Plaza or something, yeah, cool.
Yeah. I agree.
You know, public art project.
I think you heard us.
Yeah, definitely.
We haven't voted, it's not anything.
No,
you
of
know,
course, this
but-
is like very informal, yeah,
Yeah.
but it sounds like that if we were to.
I'm
just do it.
gonna go take a look at it.
Well, you're one of 4, I don't know.
Well, it's just funny. I just got back from Cincinnati in the historical area and they have murals all over the place. They have
Yeah.
a lot of 3-story buildings and it's like an art show. It's fantastic.
Mhm.
But I get where we are here.
Cincinnati.
Oh, it's old. It's just, well, 1850. Not as hysterical as we are. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is,
Yeah.
this gentleman, if he is going to put an application in, would probably have to have it in by Thursday if he's gonna be on the next hearing.
Yeah.
But the feedback is it doesn't look like it's going to be looked at
Doesn't look
favorably.
promising.
No, it's not.
Okay. Just want to kind of,
Yeah. thank you.
yeah, wrap it up.
Do you have any more questions for us?
No, that's it. Yeah, thanks for your
I
time.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So that closes the pre-application review. Now we're on public communications. Does staff have any public?
I don't have any, who wasn't here? Were you not here last time?
He was not here, because we were gonna talk about the,
So just, if you look at the minutes, we did mention that, during the last meeting, there was a video that was submitted to the clerk's office. Regarding some stuff that's going on at the library, so, just want to bring that to your attention.
The park,
yeah,
Yeah, just,
I just had somebody, somebody called me today about it.
yeah.
She was out on the corner all weekend.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
With the
I,
sign.
ironically, in the video, she highlights a tree that provides, it's a wonderful tree, old tree, it's shade, and it fell down, like a huge limb of it fell
Broke off,
down,
yeah.
and then they had to, they kicked it
down.
off,
was
they had to
dead
take down the whole
anywhere,
tree.
died.
So
The
the thing
park,
dead.
the park, proposed park.
Yeah,
of
the
the
library.
Library.
yeah.
So
Outdoor-
they
outdoor
are,
Center.
what's the status of that? They're still, they have a plan, but they're trying to work through the funding or
I
the?
guess,
Yeah.
well, it's
Nothing's
ARPA,
been
it's
sent.
ARPA funding, so,
Okay,
I think some of the money's there, I don't know. But it hasn't even come in front of,
I got asked to look at it today.
planning department yet.
by
The video?
The board,
The library. board?
yeah, library.
yeah, definitely watch it.
Yeah, but what's the
Yeah,
video?
watch it, yeah.
So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. I brought it to everybody's attention last time. I don't know if it was in the minutes or not, but. That's all I have.
It was on the agenda.
I saw a plan, but I haven't seen the video.
Yeah. Go back to last meeting's agenda, you'll see the.
I'm gonna go sit it with.
You can,
yeah.
if you want to see the video, you can just go on YouTube and do, is it Groton Knowing Library?
I'll take a look at
And
it.
it will come up.
All right. Anyone on the commission have public communications?
No.
Approval of the minutes is next. From June 3rd, 2025.
They look good, no comments.
No comments.
I wasn't here.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Moriarty second.
Abstain, Ernst abstain.
Okay. Ferguson, yes. Ferguson, yes.
Moriarty, aye.
Kohler, aye.
All right, the minutes for June 3rd, 2025 are approved. Old business. Now, is the discussion on the handbook old business?
Yeah.
Okay. So you weren't here.
I
For
feel like I missed a lot.
what happens in these hour and a half, 2 hours we're together. So were you here for the meeting where I mentioned that I spoke with Tim and the lawyer
Yes,
and
yes,
we talked about how
There was some language in
there
it.
was language,
There was,
okay, and we were gonna discuss and Goodrich isn't here tonight, so maybe we put it off one more or till all 5 of us are here, but are we gonna approve the edits that we made, knowing that we're gonna hire a consultant in the future to revamp the whole
right,
thing?
right, because there was some ambiguous or difficult language, and I remember all that discussion.
Yes. So, I mean, my feeling is we value the efforts that were put in by the new language, knowing that it's gonna be ripped apart again by it, so.
As long as I'm okay with that, I kind of wanna, I'm kind of the opposite. I'd
Okay.
rather stick with what we have that's been kind of boilerplate for the last 20 years and not change things up, because I think legally it may bite people in the butt, especially if we're redoing the entire book anyway. I would rather have the professionals do it and do it right
Okay.
and stick with what we currently have is kind of my.
Okay.
feeling.
I think that was one of the options,
Yeah, no,
is
that was
keep what we
definitely-
have and use that draft document as a tool
Tool,
for any
exactly.
consultant.
Okay,
So they could get the gist, they could look at the current approved document, the draft document, and that might provide some light as to the direction that the commission wanted to go with things.
Yeah.
In addition to everything else that we're going to provide them with,
And I get that, respect that, honestly, I'm fine inside with that, I just was part of that process.
No, no,
You
I know,
like,
and I
so
know
that's
it's
why
nothing
I-
you've been
I
at it for
said
a
what I
year.
said,
Yeah.
was because I'm like,
Yeah.
we did put a lot of time and effort, but if the rest of the commission is with that perspective that Tim just mentioned, you know, but I'll go with the rest of the commissions, I just.
So there's this idea, it will get overhauled, it's gonna be a consultant, it's gonna take a look.
Yeah.
at it.
yeah, you weren't here for that discussion, so
Yeah,
that's kind of where we ended up going with it is.
Looking at maybe finding a team that worked on Newport or Salem or something like that.
Yeah,
that-
in another life, we did exactly this.
Yeah,
Find some prototype out there that's been.
Right.
Yeah,
Not reinvent the wheel, but
adopt
take-
it, yeah.
so our thoughts are, and I had a discussion with John, the director, and Deb, the assistant director. That these would be looked at comprehensively there. And it would also kind of roll in some things that planning has had some struggles with in Mystic as well, including parking. Right now, there's some parking language in the historic district, in the handbook that might be a little prohibitive. In an area where we're trying to create parking. So if it can be looked at holistically from a zoning and HDC aspect on certain items, we want to try to do that.
So there's no conflicts between the two.
Right, and we want to try to do it, have somebody who has, a professional background do that. Our thoughts are that we're going to try to figure out a budget for it over the next few months. When we create, usually around the 1st of October, we start to talk about capital improvement budgets. We're going to request the money in capital improvement budgets, in our capital improvement budget to be approved for fiscal year 26-27. And if it looks like it'll be approved 26-27, we'll draft up some RFPs as soon as the money is available, which would be July 1, 26. To start the process of figuring out who we want to do it and providing them with some information, background information, what we're looking for, and getting them started.
That makes sense. We did exactly this kind of thing in Wisconsin. In reinventing the historic trust, we found one in Washington, another state that was exactly, we said, this is a lot like us, this is what we want to do. Because there's a million different variations of that organization, so that's what we did.
And whereas I don't really have any knowledge of somebody who has this type of background or has worked in something similar to this, my boss does. He had a couple of people right on the tip of his tongue that he was going to do a reach out to, and Deb Jones had a person as well. So there's people that are not in Western Pennsylvania or something that can do it. There's people that are probably New England based or nearabouts.
That's the other part of it, is it probably wants to be something that.
Yeah,
is
somebody who
related to the
understands.
history here.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Well, I say for the record, I'm in the same place as Tim, I think. I appreciate all the work and I know,
Right.
but I think approving something that we know is sufficient is.
No, I guess, like I said, I came with a bias. Yeah.
I mean, and the projection for this is, we're gonna create a document that is probably gonna be a working document for the next 30 to 50 years. With a good background of what the projections of Mystic look like and these regulations can guide it.
All right.
So if you wanna wait for John to come back to do a formal vote to
Yeah.
table those.
Right, exactly, we'll
That
just,
would probably be the thing to do, and you're
Yeah.
not gonna be at the next meeting. So
right, so,
Two
Right.
more meetings.
some more meetings.
couple more meetings. There's no rush.
I mean, I was gonna say, I don't feel bad
Been
about
hanging out there for a
Yeah.
while.
pushing it 2 weeks.
Yeah,
less-
we don't have it's not like we're statutorily limited on a time frame on it. It's whenever it comes to
It's
fruition.
gotta be before July 1st,
Yeah,
2026.
Yeah, right. Well, we'll have information
Right,
by
no,
then anyway,
right,
and
but-
some budget amounts hopefully, and you know,
Okay.
that'll continue to work. with it.
I'm sure there's one out there that's awful close to what we want.
All right, any other old business from anybody? All right, any new business from anybody? Any new?
I'm gonna bring this up, but I don't care about it and I support it, but it looks like at the corner of, is it's Noank Road and Fort Rachel Place. They put up one of those signs that reads the speed limit, one of those electronic signs with like a radar detector.
Oh, yeah.
And a speed limit. I'm totally supportive because people go too fast when they're coming into town, you know, go around that curve. Should they have, is that something we should approve?
It's not ours.
Okay.
That's state DOT.
State DOT.
Yeah, our
Okay.
options are sit down and shut up.
So why, I mean, then the heat sensor thing that you presented, I mean, I view that as the same light, right?
So we did that kind of out of a courtesy, I think.
Wasn't required.
We maybe, it was questionable as to whether or not it would be required. So they decided to go ahead with it.
Oh, I remember that discussion.
I don't know, like, I think like DOT signs, utility infrastructure,
All that,
you got
yeah.
nothing, you have no
Yeah.
say over.
I mean,
it.
I'm totally supportive. I think it's good,
Yeah.
but like,
I
just more of a rules.
I thought it was a
clarity.
police sign. Like, that's not put up by the Groton Police,
What's that now?
that speed limit sign,
Oh,
that speed radar sign, isn't that a Groton Police
could be.
put up?
I don't know, that's a state road.
Oh, right,
No idea.
okay.
It's whatever it is.
I always thought,
Three.
I always thought the police put those up, just as kind of.
I've seen the police put them up like on a temporary thing
Yeah.
where they are on like a trailer.
Sure, it's not a,
But I think it's temporary though.
it's definitely temporary.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
That's what
But
I
it's not
think.
on like a cart, like the
Right.
Groton Police put it up on my road, Westminster,
Yeah.
a couple years ago,
Right,
but that
right.
was like on
Like a trailer.
trailer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it a state?
I don't know, it's pretty
Product?
significant looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the-
I
It didn't look
yeah,
like it
I'll
was.
I'll
I
drive
like
by
to
and
put
take
a
a look
feed-
at it.
I don't think it was on, I walked right by it, cause it's kind of like a little bit in the way of.
I've seen
sidewalk.
I've seen them pop up.
Yeah.
I don't think it was reading though, so I don't think they've activated it
Mm.
yet.
I saw.
Or you
raw
weren't going
ones
fast
today.
enough.
I would.
Walking.
Oh, yeah. I'll run.
You know, they're doing a lot of work further towards Noank on that road, and I don't know if there's
That's
work,
stoplight.
if this, we have work projected. In any other area, I mean, that's because of the bulkhead and the bridge area, but. You know, I can see it on your road because they did the water work there for so long, there was just
Yeah.
people flying through that zone all the time while it was nothing but. You know, stuff going on,
Now my street's nice and smooth and repaved.
so now they go
Like
past
a
for that.
racetrack.
Yeah.
I just would like people to stop at stop signs.
Oh, yeah, there's.
I'll
I was
try-
run
I'll
over
try.
once at that.
I treat their controller.
Get problems, but I'll try.
People. They slow down, that's it.
I was young at the time, probably last year, but someone said stop signs with the white outline are optional. And then I realized all of them. That wasn't, someone said that to me and I was like, oh,
Was it reflective?
then I realized. But I think that's the rule of thumb for Mystic.
Anything else?
That's no other new business from anyone. Then we're adjourned.
Move to adjourn.
To adjourn. I'm gonna not take this home. But what did Sue say?
She said, all right, been a long day, social hours over.